It's an interesting thing that's been going on above what normally happens on that show about all things paranormal, weird, whatever. We've had some technical glitches the last couple of weeks, and the psychic medium Vicky on the show says that she's getting some kind of weird vibes about some entities that maybe the spirits are caught up in the machine. Ghosts in the machine, as they say.
The Guardian and the Tickler. Those are the two entities right now.
They have names?
The Guardian and the Tickler.
Which you can also buy at Adult Video Warehouse.
Both of them.
Yes, both
One
of
of them's got like a little rabbit head on it.
Yep. Coincidentally, yeah. So maybe they're working on a plug. They got their own merch already. Isn't that amazing? So Denny's
They come in 8 different colors.
saw something a little bit odd last night, and there have been some other people that have seen shadowy figures and things like that when they've been to Jbird's house lately. Tell us exactly what you saw last night, Denny's.
Well, so it was very weird because Bird was outside in his yard working on his fountain. I think you were about to do a video for Weird and Whatever promoting it. And so I was in the studio loading in audio for the show. And I hear this loud crash of glass breaking or ceramics breaking, something. It was very loud.
Okay.
And I went out there, and there's just a mug on the floor in the middle of the kitchen, which was very odd because if it fell off something, it would have had to have bounced. But I was there when the sound happened, so I didn't hear any of that. But it was in the middle of the kitchen,
Right.
And
and it was shattered.
It's my favorite mug.
So Bird comes in, he's like, "What the heck is this?" And I go, "I don't know. I thought it was you,
And
but I
no-
came out here and no one was here."
No one else is there. It's in the middle of the kitchen, so it's not that you left it on the edge and gravity took over and it just fell.
Well, and you have a lot of decorative stuff, so I thought maybe something fell off a wall. So it took me a second to figure out what the heck it was.
Nobody in the history of decorative stuff has had more decorative stuff.
It's true.
So I thought maybe it was a decorative. So I heard the noise, and I obviously I went out there and just looked. And at first I didn't see anything, so I was looking at the walls to see if something fell. Didn't see anything, and that's when I saw it in the kitchen. And Bird comes in and is asking what the heck happened, and I go, "I don't know." I go, "I don't even know where this mug was. I didn't even know it was a mug at first, honestly, because it was shattered."
It's my favorite mug, and it says, "We'll always be together, friends forever." And it's 4 creatures. It's Nessie, it's an alien, it's Bigfoot, and it's a mermaid, and they're all kind of chilling with each other.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the Weird Whatever crew.
Aww.
And it's split right in half. It was just bizarre because, to Denny's point, the way where it landed, it had to have flown off or done something odd. And
It feels like a message against the show.
that's what I thought. That's what I was trying to articulate to our audience last night.
I think you are onto something.
Well, it was friends together, friends
Yeah.
forever. And it was right before the podcast.
I mean, it
Denny's
was right before everyone got there.
Denny's is not a believer, so he's like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah.
Well, I just heard the noise, that's why I looked. But it was just weird that it was in the middle. I just couldn't figure out, just looking at it, it had to have bounced maybe and then shattered on the second hit, but that wouldn't have shattered. It just didn't make any sense. I don't know. It was a very odd
How
explosion.
often do these odd anomalies happen at your house? Because it seems like it's always now during the Thursday night show. Is this going on all the time, or does it seem like every single Thursday night when you guys do the Weird and Whatever that one of these things happens?
It's not just Thursday, but I will say Thursday is a little bit more active, and something seems to really kind of gear up, and
They know it's showtime now.
I kind of feel like that.
They're getting
I
ready,
can't,
yeah. They're
I
like,
can't
"All right,
prove
let's get ready
that.
for the show. Here we
but
go."
Everything's working, and then as soon as everyone starts getting there, everything starts to glitch.
We'll be sitting
Yeah.
there, and then all of a sudden you start hearing interference in the headset, and you just go, "What's this?" And you look at the internet connection, and it'll be spiking up and down. It's just weird stuff. And you go, that has to be an issue with the provider then.
Yeah.
And then
It's just the only thing that makes sense, I guess.
the week before, we're all doing the podcast, and then we hear this big time creepy music going on in the background, and my TV just turned on. It was just,
Yeah.
And then there was one we were in the middle of a broadcast, and it just stopped.
Yeah.
And we could not get back on the internet whatsoever with any device.
Something seems like it's moving things within Jbird's house, and it really centers itself around you doing this show.
Well, then we get done with everything after trying to figure it out, and then everything works again. It's just very odd. I don't know. It's a very weird-
coincidence? I don't know.
So then when you're done doing the show, things seem to level out. You don't see those kind of experiences when the show is finished. It's always either leading up to or during the show.
During or leading up to, yeah, I'd say so. Afterwards, it typically levels out.
Vicky said she got touched last night during the podcast.
And she specified it wasn't Ryan Beckett.
Okay, that's good to know.
Where did she get touched?
I think on the back of her leg.
Yeah, I think that's what she said.
What did the touch feel like?
A tickle. The
Okay.
tickler.
Wow.
So that's where I think he got his identity. He was kind of a tickling ghost.
So you just feel light little touches.
It does. You'll be laying on bed, and all of a sudden it'll feel. I know it sounds crazy, but it'll feel like fingers rubbing your foot for a second. You go, what the heck was that? And there's nothing there.
A foot fetish tickling ghost?
But it's not just the feet. It'll be on the side of your leg. It'll be on your arm. Sometimes your neck. You go, what was that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what it would cost. I feel like a lot of the camera systems that you get today are relatively affordable, and I'm just wondering if that might be something for you to look to get a camera in every single room so that you have some visuals on this stuff, because so much stuff is happening. I know your goal is to capture it.
Yes.
To maybe look in to see, okay, how much would it cost to get a camera or two in every single room that's just always kind of recording?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know how much that costs and what that would entail. But yeah, we've done that before, and we're going to do another round of where Vicky brings in all of her cameras and all that stuff.
It feels like, you need to set up when you guys do this thing on a Thursday to see if something else happens and if you're able to capture that. Because if you would have had video inside of your kitchen, you would have had a better...
We would have actually known what caused or what.
No
at
more
least saw the
mystery.
object fly or do something.
And then if you see it go, it launches off of it, you're like, okay, that's crazy.
It was just a weird spot for it to be.
There's so many people now in our DMs on Instagram that send us their Ring camera footage. I was watching one last night. People are putting cameras on the interior of their house, and then they're noticing strange things. And the one I was watching last night that this KVJ Nationer sent us, the dog or the cat, whatever the animal was sitting on the sofa. And then all of a sudden you heard a noise, but nobody knew where this noise came from. The animal looks up and you can see their eyes because it's like a night vision camera.
They light up.
And they freak out, and then you hear the voice of a woman, and it's her dad's house. Like her mom died 2 years ago. There's no woman that lives there. You hear the voice of a woman on the video.
And that's the thing that's an awesome story. The thing that sucks is even with the ghost footage that we have that got on national TV, most of the people at the time thought, okay, this is pretty good footage. Even now, people go, oh, that's CGI or that's AI.
We don't have money for CGI on that level.
AI wasn't even around back then.
We can't even get a legit phone screener for our show.
But it does make it tough if you have an experience and you really did have one and you have proof. People are going to go, okay, what program did you use for that?
Yeah.
We don't have a program.
It just makes it tougher now for people to believe.
Yeah.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ Show.